Welcome, everybody, to Flannel Legacies. I do hope you'll have a beautiful day today, and that it'll be a good day for you to listen to us in the background. I'm your host, Garvin Kasul, and with me today is my co-host.
Cyber J112. Very nice to see everyone. Or hear. Actually, no, we can't see or hear any.
Nope, we cannot, my man.
Jesus.
But
What do
yeah.
we retake?
Nah, we're keeping that in.
Oh, fuck.
This entire section.
Great. Wonderful. I love that.
Yeah, minimal editing.
Wonderful. I love that.
How long can you keep going, the more it's gonna stay in.
I know.
Ah, beautiful. As you can probably tell, we're just two jackasses with a very, very tiny brain shared between us.
We have no idea what the fuck we're doing.
No.
We're just doing this for fun at this point.
Effectively.
And it's wonderful. I love
Yeah.
it.
Now, the topic we have today is brought by me, and it's the demonstrification of fantasy, where the trend nowadays for the last couple years has been taking monsters and turning them more and more human, where nowadays it's effectively just become this is a human, but it has this. For example, this is a human, but it has blue skin, therefore kill it.
Avatar.
Exactly.
Not okay, for just so that way I don't offend all of the fucking millennial generation. I am not talking about Avatar The Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah.
I am talking about the Avatar movie, not the crappy live action version of Avatar The Last Airbender. Jesus Christ.
We're talking
I
about the
hate-
Avatar movie with the unobtainium that they wanted under the biggest tree.
Yeah, that movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, that movie was good though.
It was
Like,
good,
that-
yeah.
that
Like
was,
it
yeah.
was also a pretty good step in the right direction for technology, because it was effectively took this new technology and made had a large ass budget and pushed the new technology to its limit at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which personally it was beautiful. It showed the limits, or the new limits, the new heights that movie franchises had to attain to in terms of CGI, in terms of animation, in terms of mixture of live action and animation, in terms of makeup design, sound design. It pushed so many different boundaries, and sadly I haven't seen a movie like that has pushed the boundaries like that in a long time. Then
Yeah.
again, nowadays, since 2020, I haven't really gone out to see many movies. I kind of just take a lot of my media from YouTube because,
Yeah.
frankly, a lot of YouTube programs now, they put in way more work, way more effort into their like production
Yeah.
than Hollywood has in the past 4 or 5 years. So,
Yeah. Like, I've just come to realize right this very moment that the only reason I even know about some of the movies coming out today is because I like to watch on I don't remember the channel's name, but it's a guy who's sinning cinema sins.
Cinema Sins.
Effectively.
Honestly, CinemaSins, if he actually sees this or hears this in the slightest, fucking hello, you're amazing, love what you do. Because when I was young, like when it came to like horror movies or like Saw movies or just
Yeah.
or like movies in general, when it came to any kind of fantasy or sci-fi trope, I would always be thinking this is kind of overplayed. Or like there'd be so many different cliches in there that I'm like, this is stupid, and it takes away from the entirety of the movie. And CinemaSins, like, you can hear him and just watch him, and he's like, yeah, that's wrong, that's a cliche,
Yeah.
and he actually calls it out, and it's to a broad like group of people, and it's like, yes, we all agree,
Like-
this part of the movie is shit.
I used to be a huge fan of CinemaSins back in the day, but
Yeah,
I ended up falling out when it became less, there's people actually putting effort into the writing, and it's just we're following this formula. Now he
Yeah.
has his own trends that he repeats that I've
yeah.
been done to death, honestly.
Yeah. Sad. Like again. Then again, like the
Also,
things
like
that.
he's no longer doing what cinemas of old used to do, which is pointing out flaws in the movie. For example, like when different car is used, he's no longer doing that, and it's more just pointing things out on the screen now.
Yeah. When it comes to like, I will say I do agree with you on the whole trope of CinemaSins. Like, he's following a formula that he knows that works with the YouTube, but at the same time, it falls under the same thing as Hollywood isn't producing anything new. They aren't limit testing anymore. They're
Yeah.
not trying to push like something brand new. And I'm not trying to say that they're not pushing a narrative. They are.
Oh yeah.
They completely are. Hollywood is definitely trying to say, we support this wholeheartedly. Meanwhile, what's happening in Hollywood is pedophile rings. What's happening in Hollywood is drug and substance abuse.
Like
It's literal sex rings, human trafficking inside of Hollywood.
Probably the worst for the general audience that doesn't pay attention and that doesn't know about it. Just when it comes to the movies, Hollywood has reached a point where they're pushing this narrative at the expense of everything else.
Yes, they're trying to
They're hiring writers with no writing experience just because they fit the checkbox they have.
Because the writers that were good essentially said, fuck this, I'm out. I'm not dealing with your bullshit anymore. Again, when it comes to all the understand, producers, actors, all these people are not, you can look up to an actor, just realize their acting ability is, that doesn't mean that if they're good at acting, that doesn't mean they're a good person. Just like us. Just because you may like our personalities here, that doesn't mean you're going to like us in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just imagine me being an asshole 24/7, pointing, looking at every, I will say, currently, Garwin, the guy I've been talking to, we're planning on going out on a cafe date pretty soon, and it's gonna be wonderful. Yeah, it is. But I've actually shown him a few things about me, and it's more so the fact I don't really have much of a filter in real life. Yeah. If I see something, I'm going to say something. I don't have that voice in my brain saying, "Hey, Jay, maybe this isn't a good idea to say exactly what you're thinking at this moment about this guy's driving." Maybe you shouldn't say, "Hey, step up off the gas pedal and onto the brakes. You're going 20 miles over." Maybe don't say that. That'll ruin the day. Nah. I don't have that. I don't have that voice that says, "Don't do that." I have a voice that says, "Jump." Whenever I'm at the edge of a tall area, I have that voice that says, "Jump." Whenever I'm holding a gun, look down the barrel.
Yeah. I have a voice in my head that does something similar. Whenever I'm driving, it's like, what if you just pulled the steering wheel suddenly to the side?
Yeah. So understand, us as people on here, we may have the humor you like. We may have opinions you like. But if you're around us, in person, again, that barrier of you being able to pause us, you being able to just hear us or speed up something that you don't like is gone. Yeah. So you're going to have to deal with things you both like and don't like. And it vastly changes the opinions of people. I've had the availability to meet some of my childhood heroes, such as William Shatner.
There is a reason the old adage of never meet your heroes exists.
It's there, yeah. With William Shatner, for those of you who aren't Star Trek fans, which I'm pretty sure my buddy Garwin here is not, William Shatner is the man who played James Tiberius Kirk in Star Trek. He was the original captain of the Enterprise, Captain James T. Kirk. He was wonderful in the original TV series, and afterwards he played in the movies and appeared in a few other... Wait. No, he did not. I take all of what I just said back. He did not appear in anything else in Star Trek other than those movies. He did make an appearance, much like Spock, in the new 3 movies, but it was in the third one in a picture that was held by Ambassador Spock, played by Leonard Nimoy, who, by the way, Spock, may he rest in peace. But
some people dying today, notable people.
When I met William Shatner, he was not like I was expecting. Again, it's because I saw him on a screen. I've heard him talk. I knew, quote unquote, what the guy was like. But again, when I met him at a actual panel, when he was there to meet people, it was kind of like a meet and greet, like a book signing. It was like the character wasn't real. And again, that's what it is. He was playing a character. He was playing a character of James T. Kirk. So meeting him in real life, I expected him to be James T. Kirk, when instead I met William Shatner, a professional actor, a professional human being. So when you meet people who you look up to, it's not going to be like what you're thinking of. And that's what Hollywood is. Don't look at your people that you look up to, these people who you idolize, and think, oh, they have to be great, wondrous people. They're not.
Yeah.
What they are is human beings. They have flaws. They have fallacies. Everything about them that you know comes from a screen, comes from just second-hand interpretations.
Yeah.
People can talk so well about them, such as Keanu Reeves. I've not heard a bad thing about him. People have always said that he's one of the nicest people. He's humble enough to know he should never use his position for bad. But at the same time, I don't know him. How would I know that? Am I going to criticize him? Heck no. Because half of his people that he portrays in films or in nowadays games as well, in voice acts, Johnny Silverhand, amazing. I've played Cyberpunk 2077 so many times, and I want to cosplay Johnny so bad.
I'd love to see
that. I want that so bad. I have the vest ready for that. I have the dog tags as well.
Oh, nice.
I want to do it so bad. It's gonna be great. I just need the actual perfect pair of aviators. I need the boots, the jeans, a couple of the chains, and I need to get the actual paint for the hand. But other than that, I'm pretty good on that.
Nice.
But with Keanu Reeves, notice most of the people he portrays in movies and film are these hard, just like very aggressive people. Johnny Silverhand is said to be a terrorist. Of course, he's an idealist. Again, terrorist, because he did kill thousands upon millions of people. So there's that. That's a terrorist attack right there. But
you're gonna spoil the audience.
Oh, whatever.
If you can't tell people, I don't give a damn.
Cyberpunk 2077. It came out Actually, it came out in 2020, I believe, or 2021. So it's been out for over a year now. I'm sorry. If you haven't played the game yet, or if you haven't seen any media for it, what the fuck are you doing? Go on that game. Yeah. It is amazing. The graphics are incredible. Does it glitch out? Yes, completely. I have not had a single playthrough that I haven't had my game crash at least once.
Yeah.
At least once, and I
from
lose a
what
save.
I hear, the fault with that lies completely with the audience.
It lies with us.
Yeah.
It lies with us literally demanding, we want the game out now. No bug fixes, no glitch fixes.
Yeah.
There's so much
They
cut
were
content
saying
in the
they
game as
needed to
well.
postpone it once more.
Yeah.
No one was having it, and then suddenly, maybe we should have.
Oh yeah, because with BDs, brain dances, there is so much cut content there. Like, you had so much cut content because you have a BD wreath, and the only use you have for it is story elements. That's it. There is nothing like miscellaneous you can do. Like, you can't like watch in-game media, or the BDs are the perfect place to hide Easter eggs.
Man,
yet they're not
I
there.
really wanted to watch in-game CNN.
I don't. I don't.
I just
Fuck
want
the
to.
media.
I just want to see what
Fuck
that would be
CNN.
like.
Fuck Fox. Fuck all news media. That shit sucks.
But imagine it
Nah.
in 2077.
Oh dear God, the propaganda. It
Oh,
would have
yeah.
been 20 times worse on
Exactly.
both sides. No, I'm sorry. The entirety of the movie is literally corporate America versus independent America. And it's like on one side you have the army, and on one hand you have the people. Neither one likes each other, and it's just a polarized game. I hate the politics in the game. I love the game though. Again, not everything in life has to be politicized. Not everything in life has to be polarized. It doesn't have to be black or white. You can enjoy a game. You can enjoy media. The reason why I love Cyberpunk 2077 is literally because my name, Cyber J, is because cyber is like cyberpunk, the style, like steampunk or cloudpunk or wind punk. It is my favorite genre out of that. Steampunk, it's my next favorite. But cyberpunk is my favorite. I don't know why. I played a game called Observer way back when. Loved the game so much that it became my thing. I loved it so much. I loved the style of someone having robotic parts in them. I loved this dystopian society of these people that are ripping parts out of themselves and replacing it with robotics, or these like in Cyberpunk 2077 there's Ripper dogs that take out body parts and replace it with like cybernetic limbs, cybernetic actuators. It's wonderful. It's excellent. It's a perfect ploy. It's a perfect style of games. However, I also know that the people that do those games are not always going to have my beliefs. I may love that certain type of game. I may look up to the people who are in the game. But if I ever meet those people in real life, they could be very different, much like the people in Hollywood. Much like how Hollywood doesn't produce good things anymore. I want to point this out. A lot of the time with Hollywood, you're no longer seeing what Hollywood is or was, because Hollywood has remained stagnant. Hollywood is a cesspool of just nothing. Like, it's literally a mosquito pit where it's still
regressed and stagnated.
Exactly. Nothing new is coming out of it. There's no flowing water anymore. And right now, you're now seeing the algae, the scum, come up to the top, come up to surface. And now that Hollywood is kind of stagnated, no one new is going in there. No one old is leaving. It's literally become this area that is just scum-soaked.
Yeah.
And those are the people you see in almost every movie these days.
And they keep patting each other on the back while hiding the failure of what they're doing from each other.
It's the echo chamber that they live in. It sucks. It's awful. I hate it. However, a lot of people expect that. And they're like, yeah, that's perfect. It's not. People, I'm not calling for people to wake up about Hollywood. Just, like, because you shouldn't have to wake up to see it.
Yeah.
It's blatantly right there in front of you. You just, like, you can ignore it, sure. Continue doing so. Hollywood, I'm not saying that everything that they're producing is bad. Some things, and I will say some, that don't have big corporations, like, talking about it, are good. Like, you have a bunch of B-rated movies that don't hit the theaters that are produced kind of sort of in Hollywood, and it's wonderful. It's brilliant. But nowadays, The Purge, beaten out of existence. The new Halloween movie. Come on. Come on. Let Michael Myers die. Like, dear God, let him die.
Yeah. Like, he used to be just a man with a knife, Then he became a real tough man with a knife. Then he became a man with a knife who could heal. Then he was a monster man with a knife. Then he was a ghost possessing other people with a knife. Then he came back to life with a knife. No, wait, that's Jason.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, Friday the 13th, let them die. Let these movies die. These movie tropes are done. The Purge, let it end. Let it die. It's the same problem I have with the newest Batman movie. They introduced the Joker literally inside of the first movie. Literally at the end, you have someone with a smile who's laughing and talking about clowns. You introduce the Joker and you get everyone excited. Oh, the next movie is going to be the Joker. Seriously, cut out the Joker. He's a dead horse. Stop beating him. Batman has this massive amount of rogues in the rogues gallery. There's so many. The thing I loved about the Christopher Nolan, I believe, his series with Christian Bale as Batman. Wonderful. He brought Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul in first. Two known Batman villains, but those two Batman villains don't get much screen time.
Oh yeah.
And suddenly you now have Scarecrow in a very prominent position. You then have Ra's al Ghul, and you have him training Batman. Incredible. Wonderful. Next movie. The Joker. Yes. But
at least he came second.
At least he came second. Yes. You didn't introduce him in the first movie to get people excited for it. No. You provided Batman Begins, and then you created him as the Dark Knight, where you said he's been doing this a while, and then you show Gotham kind of wants to know who Batman is. Very next one, who'd you introduce? Bane. Come on. That is perfect. Brilliant.
I will say though, when it comes to comic book fans and yelling at Batman to just kill the Joker already, I do have two issues with it. One, Batman has repeatedly stated that he knows he is insane. His mind is broken. And if he even kills anyone, even the Joker, eventually he'll be hanging up the corpses of children for littering. He is that broken. He knows it. He knows he won't have the self-control up to that point, which is why he's so hard on himself.
Yeah.
And two, Gotham has the fucking death penalty. It's the city that is failing here.
Yeah.
Batman is bringing him in, and the city's just going, insane asylum. But hasn't he killed 57 billion of us already? Just insane asylum, let's go.
Well, here's the thing. It also shows, like, the world in a way. Because, understand, our media, it portrays the world. Like, completely. It portrays the current states of the world.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I dislike Hollywood, is because Hollywood right now, it isn't portraying our world. It's creating our world.
Yeah.
It's literally causing people to see a very stagnated narrative, a very one-sided narrative, a very one-sided argument. And it's creating the problem.
Yeah, and before anyone starts saying that Batman doesn't let anyone kill, the only ones he consistently doesn't let kill are the ones that he specifically took under his tutelage. And there's a reason for that. He's raising them to be like him. That's what they signed up for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Gordon, at one point, had the Joker with a shotgun to his face, and Batman said, do whatever you want, and walked away. Gordon chose to shoot the Joker in the knee, for some reason. I don't know why. At that point, that was just the writers going, shit, we got us in a situation.
Yeah.
Because, like, if they kill the Joker, the cash flow stops.
Also, just know that, when it comes to Batman, a lot of people say, "Oh, Batman's the greatest. Batman can like beat anyone in the Justice League." Just realize Batman is great, yes.
Yeah.
But you have to realize he does in fact have a superpower. Paranoia.
Oh yeah.
He is overtly and overly paranoid
Yeah.
about
Like
everything.
Like a random Joe could put on a mask and solve some crimes, and Batman would look into it extensively for months and think of any way to take that man down, despite it just being a Joe with a crowbar.
Yep. No, understand, because he'd think this person, they're connected to something bigger. And
Yeah.
until he finds out that they're not, he's going to essentially
Yeah.
case them and figure out what's happening with them.
Uh,
And once he figures it out, again, Batman, when it comes to his best, and that's how I can see him on a daily basis. And notice, in the comics, crime itself, okay, I'm about to show my colors here for a second. Batman's biggest villains are all members of organized crime.
yeah.
And forgive me for saying this, I would much rather have organized crime, because when it comes to the mob, is it awful? Yes. But I would much rather have organized crime, because at least they have a code. At least they have a doctrine that they use. And they're like, don't go after this specific thing.
Yeah.
And you can normally set up contingencies around that.
And
When
at
it
least
comes
they
to-
understand that, you know, if they kill all the people that give them money, they won't get any more money.
And when it comes to real crime, as in random crime,
Yeah.
normal street thugs,
Yeah.
just coming out and trying their shit, and then inevitably getting their shit rocked by someone with a bigger stick.
Yeah. That's just random and distracts at anyone and anything.
Exactly.
I will
and-
say, like, organized crime, it has a lot of fucking flaws, and it is horrid.
Oh yeah, it is
But
awful.
it
It
has
destroys communities. Yes.
Oh yeah, but it does have a couple benefits, which it keeps the death toll low. It keeps out other organized crime.
Yeah. Understand, if you have crime, like, you're never going to get rid of any criminal. Anyone who's down on their luck, you, like, the Joker says it perfectly. We all have a breaking point. One bad day can change us from being just this beautiful, wonderful person. And one bad day can lower us to the lowest standards we have. And that lowest standard is our breaking point.
Oh,
You
yeah.
push us past that breaking point, we become rabid dogs. And we're liable to do anything. Whether it be kill the people we love to survive. To survive? I'm sorry, you can say that you're the most depressed person on the planet. You can say, I want to die so bad. If you're pushed to a breaking point, you're still going to want to live.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've been pushed to that point before. You're going to want to live. I'm not going to say I've been pushed to the point where I will murder anyone. No. No, I'm saying strictly, I've been to the point in life where I wanted to die. I wanted to no longer exist. I wanted to just cease. I didn't feel like myself anymore. I didn't feel like I deserved life anymore. I felt broken, awful, horrid. And even at the end, while staring at death, essentially, which was myself, I still chose to stay alive.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can say that you're the, like, you want to die so bad. When faced with the choice of life or death, most of the time you're going to still choose life.
Yeah.
Because there's something left to live for. And when people are pushed so far to a breaking point, especially when their life is at stake, they're still going to choose life.
Yeah. In
Because
the
there's-
end, we are a meat suit controlled. We are a meat suit controlled by a brain that has a conscience inside of it, and that brain wants to live. It doesn't give a fuck how we feel about it. It wants to live. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a reason why the brain says it itself is the most important organ in the body. It's
Yeah.
biased as shit.
I mean, the funny part is that the strongest bone in our body isn't actually our skull,
Yeah.
which is surprising because the strongest bone in our body is in our legs,
Yeah.
not in our brain. So the most important organ isn't even protected by the strongest
Yeah.
area of our body.
Like, imagine if the brain controlled how we developed. It would be somewhere in the center of our chest, behind like 3 degrees of bone. And it would sacrifice all functionality just to protect itself, but still be able to move about and do things. The brain is inherently selfish,
Yeah.
which is probably the reason why, when you're absolutely starving and you're going so down your luck, the brain actively switches a part of itself off so that you will just eat anything.
Yeah.
At that point, it's not that you don't care anymore. You don't have the capacity to care anymore. The brain has effectively self-lobotomized itself, if only temporarily, so that you'll even eat your own mother just to survive. Which is why we have, for example, the story of the Wendigo. People have been pushed that far.
Okay.
And normal people don't like it when they notice someone being pushed that far, because it's scary.
Okay. This is actually a perfect example, I would say, of being pushed so far. So, for those of you who are with me here in America, this is a stain on a certain area of our nation, and that is the manifest destiny, the expansion out west. For those of you who don't know about this, Donner Pass, or the Donner Party, if you will. I'm not talking Dahmer, no, Donner. Donner. It is a awful, horrible tragedy. What happened? The Donner Party essentially were these pioneers, I would say, because they were trying to go out west towards California and Oregon. Instead of traveling south with the rest of the convoy, the Donner Party instead tried to go through the mountains in a very cold area. They got caught in a snowdrift. They ran out of food. They ran out of water. What did they do? To survive, they began eating each other. They did everything they could to survive. It is a horrible tragedy that it happened. It's awful. It is awful. I can't imagine what those people must have gone through. I doubt any of us can say what could have gone through those people. But it happened. And to just leave it as they snapped and they resorted to it would be neglecting the true history. They were pushed way past a limit. They made a bad decision. It's a horrible decision. And they died for it. It's awful. So, again, they were normal, everyday people. The worst part is they were seen as good people. And even they resorted to a horrible, horrible standard. But yeah, just goes to show, here in a modern age, we are not bad people. We're also not enlightened, because these days people are also still saying, hey, why don't we eat the deceased? Eat the dead.
That's always a good idea.
No, it's not. Cannibalism, just so you know, is... I'm not kidding. If none of you have done research into it, I highly recommend doing some research into this, because it is interesting what cannibalism does to the human brain.
Oh yeah.
It is more addictive than any drug you can take. Like seriously.
Like, there is a reason why the brain waits until you're on the verge of dying before switching that function of itself off.
Yeah. Notice cannibalism, it is highly addictive. It is worse than a drug because people get high on it. It is this... Think of it like, forgive me, guys, I'm about to tell the women one of our biggest secrets. The reason why people love anal, people love kind of the taboo, it's because it is completely, like, it's beyond the norm. It's outside of the norm. Not many people accept it. Not many people like it. And the reason why is because it's different. It doesn't feel right. But when you're going against the norm, it feels so good to rebel. It feels so good to just do something bad, to do something naughty, to do something wrong. And that's the same thing with cannibalism. It's taboo. It's something against the national or rational order of things and how things are. Is cannibalism bad in the animal kingdom? A lot of animals do cannibalism.
Yeah.
Notice those are animals we're talking about. Humans, I'm sorry for, like, saying we're better. We are.
Yeah. Like, we may still be animals in the broader spectrum, but we have the collective knowledge to know that what the fuck it does to you.
Yeah, understand.
The research is there already. The morals are here for a reason. We're a social species too. A rebellious social species, but we're still a social species.
It is both... To me, it is both immoral and also just flat out disgusting and distasteful. I don't understand how people allow themselves to think that it's a good idea. I don't understand how brainy, quote-unquote, people... I love, Garwin, just breaking character for a second. I love how whenever I'm doing the quote-unquote... I know people can't see us whatsoever, but I love how you can see I'm doing the whole quote-unquote with my fingers. I'm doing the quotation.
It's always hilarious.
I don't know why I do it. I can just say quote unquote.
Yeah.
But I just don't do it. I don't know why.
There is an actual phenomena that is that if you move your body while speaking, it does actually change your voice. Maybe not always
Italians were onto something.
Yeah. Maybe not always notably, but it does change it. Like, for example, the studies have been done, and people can hear over the phone when you're smiling and when you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I am guilty of calling people out. I can hear... I've actually said this to you because sometimes I don't even see you, and I'm like, I can hear that fucking smile you have painted and plastered on both ears.
Oh yeah.
Or I can tell when you are literally having your hands in your hands in your head. No, your head in your hands, and you're just like ashamed to do anything. It's wonderful.
It's so much fun.
But what was I saying again about the whole
the brainies, cannibalism, saying it's
good.
The
brainy, quote unquote, like the intellectuals. Hold on. Here are my glasses. Garwin.
Actually.
Actually, people, yes, statistically, what we should do is to make efficiency to meet all of our food requirements. What we should do is any of the deceased need to be butchered and cut up, and so that way we can feast on human flesh. Yes, it is the best and most efficient way of acquiring food and nutrition. Yes. Actually, cremation is horrible for the environment. It releases so much CO2. Not to mention, it's awful because I say it is. Even though it's the cheapest way how to get rid of like the bodies, and also cremation has been around for centuries, and it is literally why Viking funerals were, there, because they kept the ashes and spread them across the terrain.
And
cremation is awful.
I will say, the funny thing about the Vikings with the cremation, it actually saved them from a fuck ton of diseases.
Yeah, it did.
Like, when a plague was ravaging Europe, the Vikings kept burning their bodies because it was what they did. And they got out relatively unscathed from that shit.
Yeah. Understand, people. I may make fun of people that say, like,
silly.
But, I'm guilty of it. Garwin here is guilty of it. We're all guilty of trying to correct someone about a topic we know about. And hell, I haven't checked any of the comments yet. But in some of our older videos or older things, I'm certain that in at least one of them, there's someone correcting something we said.
Yeah.
Right? Garwin,
Probably.
Is there at least one?
I haven't checked.
Okay.
I'm scared.
You gotta check the comments, man.
Look. 4 of our subscribers are just us.
Fair enough.
Yeah, my 2 other channels and then you. No, wait, that's 3.
Fair enough. Yeah, 4 subscribers are us. Yes, I have 2, you have 2. Perfect. No,
at least we have 2 subscribers that aren't us.
Yeah, I only have 1, and frankly, I'm not actually saying this because I like the sound of my own voice. I listen because I have so many regrets about what I say. Like, I listen back and I'm like, oh, why did I say that? Or I listen back and I'm like, Garwin makes a good point. I shouldn't have made a rebuttal to this because he actually makes a really good point.
Yay.
In the last video where I was talking about my afterlife, I do believe in Christianity. Like, I just want to point that out, and that's all I'm going to say about it. But at the same time, I do feel bad about several of the things that have happened due to Christianity. And I don't refute that it happened. I don't refute that it's awful. Just understand, we're still human.
Yeah.
Simple, flat, period, and out. We are human. Now, Garwin, I do also want to point out behind this whole humans being awful kind of thing.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the Wendigo, about how the Wendigos come about through cannibalism, thank you for actually knowing that, first of all. It's wonderful. I lived up in Vermont.
I don't know how exactly it developed, but I believe it was one of the inspirations for it. How the stories end up developing. And the addiction thing might have helped propagate it.
Oh, yeah. Notice that cannibalism, it is awful.
Yeah.
Completely. Like, if you genuinely, wholeheartedly believe that cannibalism is okay in the slightest, please go find help. I'm sorry, go find psychiatric help.
Yeah. Though I will say, for the actually people, they do have one thing right about cannibalism. It is better for the environment than what we're currently doing, but it's just worse for us as a people.
Yeah. Understand, when it comes to burial, that's perfectly fine because it returns our bodies and uses our bodies as nutrients, as technical fertilizer to, help things grow. Like,
as long as we don't use non-degrading caskets.
As long as we stop using formaldehyde to, preserve the bodies. Which is why, I'm sorry, funeral
Some
homes,
people are holding out
please.
for the resurrection.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. The resurrection happened. We're waiting for the rapture, boy. The rapture when the Lord comes back. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Also, no, the preservation of body means nothing. When your soul leaves, it goes immediately up there because time is meaningless to the soul. Just say time is a human construct. It is outside of the soul. It is outside
I
of
was
the
referring to
spiritual.
two things: the religious
What?
aspect and the scientific one.
Anyway, when it comes to like the actual body being
Consumed?
preserved,
Oh, that.
I don't want to call it preservation because it's not really preservation. You're technically just making a taxidermy of the human body, which is awful because I'm sorry, I may hunt, but I hunt for food because I actually enjoy the taste of venison, and to hunt it myself and to cook it myself makes it taste just 10 times better. Just 10 times better. Because it actually makes me feel like I'm from the old ways and that I actually went hunting out in the vast wilderness and I needed to bring something home for my family or else they'd
I
starve.
will say though, it might be interesting, if only for the scientific community, to like taxidermy of group of people like every 100 years to see how we're changing.
Ooh, that's perfect. Like that I can completely understand. Keep them in a storage unit then. Don't put them on the ground. I'm sorry, because that way the caskets. I'm sorry.
The casket's
Whatever-
gonna give out and the dirt is gonna collapse on you.
Whatever wooden box you put me in, please don't. Wrap me in burlap. Actually, no. Wrap me in cotton. Literally, plant bluebonnets on top of me. Wrap me in linen cotton. Just drop me in the ground. Drop my body in the ground. And plant bluebonnets or flowers of any kind on top of me. The reason being is because my body, I can guarantee you, those flowers are going to take to me and my body, and they're going to be like, oh, there's nutrients here, yay! And suddenly those nutrients will go out to the soil. What will that soil do? Oh, incredible. All of a sudden, that soil will start to spread out. And over a long period of time, a field of those flowers are going to just bloom and spread across. I'm sorry, if I die, people, I want everyone to rejoice in my passing. Sing, dance, fucking don't shed a single tear because I am gone. I am out. I have checked out of the building and I said, sayonara, fuckers.
That's beautiful.
Nah.
It's a shame that eventually, once digging space starts running low, people are gonna get buried back up, burned, and then new bodies placed in there.
Yeah. No, understand that if you actually do it the way I said, in a way, the bones, they do decay after a while if they're put in the right, if you don't have any preservatives, bones do decay. Understand, my flesh will also decay. No formaldehyde, no preservatives. A casket, no. Wrap me in organic cloth. No alloy, no synthetic thread, no. Pure cotton, pure burlap, pure any organic material, so that way when I'm put in the ground, I will completely decay and decompose. My body will go to becoming a nutrient for the world. That is natural burial. Cremation, again, a beautiful sentiment if you're wanting to hold on to a part of that person. It's a perfect thing. Yeah. Because a lot of people, they put the ashes in a necklace or a locket and they hold that person with them wherever they go. That is beautiful. That is a beautiful sentiment.
Then there's also the process of turning the ashes into diamond.
Exactly. It's beautiful. On top of that, the ashes themselves, ash is a fertilizer, first of all. Ash is surprisingly, it is great at creating fertile soil.
Like, there's a reason why Iceland, for example, has so much nature despite having over 150 volcanoes.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Ash is a perfect fertilizer. No matter what anyone says, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
But, just saying, everyone, just saying, this is not to say that your burial has to be like this at all. This is, for me, I want a natural burial completely. I want my body to just be dumped in the ground wherever. I don't, if you want, put a headstone there, I don't care. Like, say, here lies some douchebag. I don't care. My body is here, and it will forever remain here. I care more about my soul. And my soul is going to leave my body one day, and where it goes, I hope to heaven, but that's passing. And when I die, whatever happens after, I've already discussed, and that's what I believe.
Yeah.
But cannibalism is not an option.
Yeah. I will say though, I don't know why, but I love the idea of when I'm old and a billionaire and I'm coming in on my deathbed of going out into the just going out of the countryside, finding a plot of land that's like quite sizable, somewhere where like we can't really inhabit right now because the Iceland's just is that way. Some places are just too high, and making like an underground mausoleum for me and my family line.
Oh,
just
hi. That's kind of morbid.
Yeah, just it's a nice thing to think about. Like in a like place a memento somewhere, like place like a memento near where the body is like in a crevice, and like carve out in stone like notable things about the people. Like
that's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, like in a this is a synopsis of their life. This is what they accomplished, and this is what they liked and stuff like that.
You realize how much disease is going to be in that tomb, though, right?
Yeah, I mean there is a reason why I said somewhere in inland where we can't settle right now.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Like,
and why I said underground mausoleum.
After about 1,000 years after we've completely eradicated COVID or the flu or any of current diseases, they open the tomb that has all of these bacterias that have been festering in there for centuries.
Yeah.
And you just unleash the plague upon them.
It'll be the curse of letting my bloodline die! How dare you forget about me! Here I come with a vengeance!
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a wonderful thought to have.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be modern day mummies and modern day Pharaoh's curse.
Oh, yeah. It is something that I legitimately want to do. If only because it brings up a hilarious potential tradition I can have my descendants perform.
Oh, one thing I wanted to do for the longest period of time was to go out into like either the South or somewhere in the Midwest and buy myself a nice piece of land.
Yeah.
And this is when I was younger. No, mind you. This is when I'm still into camping. I still go camping when I want or whenever I feel like it or whenever I have time. I've been camping recently. Actually, I went over the summer. It was really nice, I will say. Thank you for asking. And I loved the idea of building my own house. Like, when I was younger, I was like, yeah, I'm going to build my own house. I'm going to get, like, all this equipment. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. I'm going to live in a tent in a little car, like, in a tent in a car for a while. I'm going to go out and I'm going to build a house. And to this day, I still want to do that. I still think that is a wonderful idea because that way I will have, if I have a nice piece of land, I mean at least 40 acres, at least. Maybe 20 to 40 acres, that's just what I want.
Yeah.
But, I just thought any child that comes after me, any part of my family that comes after me will be born, live, and I hope die on that property. As in, there'll be an actual area, like a little hill or something, that we will raise where we will bury each other. And like I said, this is where, like, I've always had this thought of when I die, I don't care about my body. When I die, wrap me in cloth and bury me under a tree.
I will admit,
here.
I do find it hilarious that my goal in life is to have enough money to get by, to do what I kind of want, to not
Oh, yeah.
care. And like if let's say I win the lottery or something, become a billionaire, and then I can just live off the interest for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I would probably, the biggest I would ever go with a house is just maybe 2 stories in case I have family. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not one to go all like, I need a mansion. No,
No.
I'm a modest man. I am
No.
a simple man. I do not need a lot to live. Like, all I need is my setup, internet, and a fridge.
Yeah.
I don't
will
even
say,
need a bed.
In here, this is what I got. Like, this setup here. I know that no one can see this. If you do want to see it, go to my Twitch at CyberJ112
Just
on
remind me,
Twitch.
when are you streaming next?
I have no idea.
Damn.
I have no idea when I'm streaming next. I am new to this whole thing. I don't have a schedule prepared whatsoever. Well, I do have a schedule. I'm just not committed to it because at
Yeah.
the same time, I'm trying to both fix my back and I'm trying to find like cheaper ways how to do it. I'm trying to find like alternative medicine. I'm trying to find any way I can fix my back to find a job again. On top of that, I'm trying to find a job whilst also going to college. Like, I don't understand how much I have to do here.
Yeah. Which, like, as I was getting before, I do find it hilarious that effectively my goal in life is to live like a commoner, die like a king.
Yeah, my entire idea is to live like a king, die like a commoner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
No, like-
it's a hilarious word.
Difference.
Yes, thank you.
Dispute. Difference. Disposition.
That one.
Yeah. But understand, people, if you can't already tell, both me and Garwin, we're very different from one another. We may have similar ideas and ideologies, but we're still different people.
Yeah.
And understand, Garwin, here in America, I'm sorry, Garwin, you'd be considered left or liberal.
I'm glad I don't
Me.
know what that is.
Great, wonderful, that's perfect. Here in America, I would be considered more on the right. I would be considered, although I do classify myself as a constitutional libertarian, as in I believe in the Constitution, that it is absolute, that you shouldn't be able to take things away. You can add and make amendments to it and change things slightly, but you should never be able to take things away. It doesn't matter if it's any liberty that's in there, you shouldn't be able to take anything away. The individual liberties of people are more important than what the government wants for you. Sorry. That's just my belief. But both me and Garwin, we have differences in that. And just know, for people out there who think, oh, I would never be friends with a liberal, I'd never be friends with a conservative, I would never be friends with anyone who has different opinions than me. Get out of your fucking echo chamber. Get out of your fucking cesspool. I'm talking directly to people here, not to Garwin. I'm talking directly to the people. Get out of your fucking heads. Get out of your echo chambers that your parents put you in. Get out of that headspace that your therapist says that you need. I have a therapist too who says you need to start loving yourself. I do love myself. The problem is that there's too many people here, especially in the United States alone, who think just because someone has a difference of opinion, that means that they must either hate you or you have to hate them because they're different.
Yeah.
When did any of this ever take place in childhood? We all grew up with the sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, right? You grew up with that too.
Yeah.
When did that stop applying to us? When did
I
that
don't
become not effective anymore? Sure, words hurt. Yeah, they do. The statement, words will never hurt you, is incorrect. Words do hurt.
Yeah.
When you say, ouch, that hurts. You're giving the word power. I'm sorry, Garwin, last episode, he said something I disagreed with. Instead of saying, well, you're wrong, and just leaving, we actually had a discussion about it, and we came out to understand the other side. Both sides came out to understand the other, and I would like to say, he respects my opinion, I respect his.
Yeah. Just like it comes with like looking up to people in Hollywood or these or other places, looking up to people in general. You can look up to people for this and that trait or this or that reason, or because they did this or that, while still despising them for this or that thing. Like a person isn't their worst quality, nor are they their best quality. They're a mixture of everything. You can admire specific traits in specific people. What's the word? Disliking this other trait in the same people? Not disliking, it's another word. The opposite of admire.
Despise.
Despise, yes. You can do that, but still respect this trait of that person. You're not ignoring the other thing. You're accepting that it's there, and that it doesn't change that they still did good with that other thing.
Oh yeah.
Like, shit, I forgot what else I was gonna say. Oh well.
Wait, I'm sorry. To people on Twitter, people on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever other fucking social medias out there that is nothing more than a cesspool of positivity, quote unquote positivity.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. Whenever I see anyone with like a fucking bio that says good vibes only, immediately I know that person
is probably the most toxic in any friend group.
Yeah, because they're like good vibes only. If any, and that normally translates to, if you don't agree with my political views or views in general about anything, I'm gonna fucking hate you and ruin your life and literally tear out your limbs. Figuratively, of course. I don't actually mean they're going to do that.
Yeah.
Just disclaimer.
I do believe part of the process towards this whole taking words too seriously probably happened along the way of when we started like actively trying to bury our pasts, and there was something else I was gonna say. I forgot.
Rewrite history.
Yeah, rewrite history, but there was another thing, something to do with words and whatnot, but I forgot it. No.
Where we tried to exactly portray what a word meant, or over-annotate something.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Or find the meaning in every little thing. Like, if an English teacher, language arts teacher tells you to read the story and they say, so what does it mean by the curtains were red? Does it mean that the visions of war were slowly blinding us to reality, and that the War Office is wrong and that our government is lying completely to us? The fuck? I'm pretty sure they're talking about the curtains in the house that they're standing in, and that the curtains were red.
Yeah, like, funnily enough, I've heard the exact same analogy, except in my case, it was blue curtains. It's just, and the synopsis, frankly, no, the author just likes blue curtains.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but like, this.
Oh, that's it. Yes, like us trying to bury our history and putting meaning in words where there is none.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry to all my teachers when I was younger. I didn't learn a single thing from you. I learned more from my family and from myself and from the internet than I ever did you. I would like to say I'm one of the hold on. I've looked this up so many times and I always forget. Okay.
Your teacher would probably respond with, well, we taught you how to acquire information. That was the purpose of it, not to learn what we were telling you. It's to an extent
Thank
it's
God.
true, but things are changing.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh, Jesus.
Hmm?
Okay, so yes. I constantly look this I think I look this up like twice a year at least, and I always forget it because I honestly don't care about like I could care less about this, but I am one of the tail ends of the millennials. Garwood, you're 26, right?
25.
25? Okay, you are the first generation, like you're the first year of Gen Z.
Yeah.
However, we grew up with a lot of the same things, I
Yeah.
would like to say. Grew up with a lot of the same things.
Iceland is slow to move on to other things because we're
Yeah.
quite remote. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have the 90s stuff for a long while here.
Oh yeah. So for us,
Actually, I think we can still find Slinkies if we go to the store.
wait, hold up. Are Slinkies like not around anymore? Hold up.
They're becoming rarer nowadays according to the internet.
Really?
Yeah.
Slinkies were the shit though.
Yeah, I know.
No, you like go downtown, like towards the city, and then you find like a long concrete staircase, and you just go, and it just travels all the way
best
down.
place to do that here in Akureyri is the Church of Akureyri, because those stairs, that hill it's set on, it is like when you drive up, it's like this. Your car is going up this slope. And it goes on like, and if you walk up that, that's like half an hour of walking.
Ooh.
And the staircase goes all the way from the top to the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, that must have been fun.
Oh yeah. Though I will admit, probably
yeah.
the most stupid thing I've ever done in that area, and still probably one of the best, is when you're on the bike and you're a kid and you see those stairs, you go, then you look at the hill beside you, go, that's dangerous, there's traffic there, and the pedestrian path is really tiny. Let me go down the stairs on the bike. That was just the go-to thing. It's just, no wonder my bikes never
God.
lasted.
My God. How did any of you people survive?
Hey, there's a reason why I have
Oh.
3 holes right here on my head in the exact same area that I got in the exact same
dude.
year.
Oh, Jesus.
Always the same doctor my mother took me to.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was in the exact
But,
same year too. It's beautiful.
Speaking
I
of
have
injuries,
2 more on my head somewhere
Yeah.
else.
But people understand where we're trying to get with this is that both me and Garwin, we come from very different flocks of life. He lives halfway across the world from me. On the other side of the coin, his views are vastly different because they've been shaped by his personal beliefs.
I
his
live
personal...
at the center of the world, my boy. According to the time zones, at least.
according to the time zones, which don't mean shit.
No. But I
Because
still
they're
know the fact
based
that I am
around-
central.
They're based around England, so get
Yeah.
the fuck off your high horse. The English were the ones to fucking do it.
Hey, the English may claim, but if you actually look at it, Iceland is more central to the time zones. We're actually on the central area. The 0 specifically. It is hilarious. England is more on the 0 to the 2. 0 to -2.
I get it. Europe is so much fucking better than the United States. Get up off your fucking high horse.
No,
you piece of shit.
I'm not saying we're better. I'm just saying the world
know.
revolves around us.
I know. Wow. Humble much, aren't you?
I may speak
Wait.
big, but inside,
You
I
don't
am.
believe that.
Yeah, I'm just a trembling naked man in the corner.
Yeah. But everyone, please understand our beliefs. And I'm gonna start closing us up here because I believe we're now about an hour and 30 minutes in, correct?
Hour and 15.
Hour and 15? Alright. I will start closing us up here.
Yeah.
Everyone, just realize, at the end of the day, are we offensive? Probably. To some demographic of people.
I Like,
Just realize
if you walk out into a city and you yell yes, someone's gonna be offended.
Yeah. Hey, if you shout, oh, and this is actually going to fucking suck if we get canceled for me saying this.
Go ahead.
Basketball sucks. Hockey is better.
Oh, ooh.
If you call that out, especially like in front of like the Dallas Mavericks or in front of the LA Lakers or any other, I don't know of any international basketball teams, sorry. But if you ever like go anywhere else in the world and say basketball sucks, they'll probably say, what the fuck is basketball?
Yeah.
And you come here to America and you say basketball sucks, someone's gonna get offended by that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I played basketball back in high school. And it's like, have you ever played since? No. Then why do I give a fuck? But still, understand.
I wonder if you'd be able to get away with that in Canada, because they do like hockey, but they're also so close to America that
And
there
they
might
also
be
like
influence over. Yeah.
Maybe. Possibly. But, otherwise, just know, everyone, that, our opinions are our own. Like, I may share my opinions here, but that doesn't mean that you can't criticize them. Like, I'm sorry, criticize me. Please, go right ahead and criticize me. But don't criticize Garwin for my opinions or my beliefs. Just as, please, don't criticize me for Garwin's opinions or beliefs. Our opinions are our own. Same with you. If you happen to hear something that you like, please, and I mean please, I implore you, go do your own research and find your own reasoning with these things.
Like,
along with
one
that,
of the best ways to have a healthy mind, and even if you consider whatever side you do consider an enemy, probably the best way to beat them is to listen to them. Understand what the fuck it is they're trying to say, because if you can understand what they're trying to say, you can more easily tear it apart.
Yeah, and that's slowly what I'm doing with Norse paganism. I'm slowly learning, so that way I'm kidding. Nah, I actually respect most religions. The only ones I don't are cults that actually use human sacrifice. And those, I think, is murder and horrible and should not exist.
The only types of worlds where human sacrifice can be accepted is a world where supernatural powers actively happen upon the world in very noticeable ways. And even then, it's a maybe.
Yeah. I have no idea what to say to that. But everyone, thank you so much for being here. As it says in the disclaimer, we're just two fucking idiots. Like, we're here to just talk. We're here to explain our views on certain things and just explain our point of view.
Yeah, like a great example of how dumb we are is the fact that we never got onto an actual topic and just went on to whatever.
Honestly, yeah, I think that was because of me. I kind of derailed the topic so
It's perfectly
much.
fine, my man.
But honestly, I do enjoy the topic we talked about because it brought to light that, hey, we know a thing or two about, well, I say we know a thing or two about movies. Now, we like
to think we know a thing or two about movies.
Yeah. But along with that, it also brought us to show, hey, how, like, childhood heroes, you can have them, just don't look up to them and thinking that they're infallible. Just like us. Please, don't look at us and think, oh, Jay, he sounds so smart. He sounds amazing. Garwin, he sounds like he knows a thing or two. We're not infallible. Like, a Google search would probably prove us wrong. Yeah. Sure, you could probably cherry pick evidence to make us wrong. But, like, more than likely, are we going to be always wrong? No. Are we going to be always right? No. We're not infallible. We're also not fallible. Actually, no, we are fallible.
Yes, we are gods. We cannot fail.
Yeah, but just realize that we are human, same as everyone else, Can you criticize humans? Yes. Are we
Yeah.
going to criticize humans? Also yes. Are we all just the same? Are we all just cut from the same crop? Yes. Is there anything special that makes us any different? Yes, because we're sitting here and you're sitting on the other side of a screen listening to us. So that does make us different in some way because you're choosing to listen to two fucking idiots talk about absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing with your life?
It-
Please
it's a serious
go
question,
outside,
man.
smell the roses.
Like, just you could be doing so much more with your life. You could be becoming a doctor. Could be studying. Could be doing your homework. Could be doing the chores. Could be cleaning your house. You could be exercising. Heck,
Yeah, you're
you
stuck
could
here
heck,
sitting
you
and
could be
listening
playing
to
World
us.
of Warcraft or whatever.
But you're sitting here listening to us. What the fuck are you doing with your life, you piece of garbage?
You fucking stupid idiot sandwich. What's wrong with you?
Oh, there's gonna be someone who's gonna say, that cut too fucking deep, man. Fuck you, I'm never listening to you.
There's gotta be someone completely offended by us joking around here, but yeah.
Oh, but seriously, thank you everyone so much for tuning in and listening to us just fucking rambling about Hollywood cannibalism and how we want to die and be buried.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you were talking? Oh, right. Getting up off of your fucking high horse and actually, accepting that people aren't going to be your friends all the time and that not everyone is going to, create a safe space for you.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter who the person, but as long as you are human, or as long as they are human, they're never going to be 100% right or 100% wrong.
Yeah. So everyone, thank you so much for listening. And we always hope to see you next time here on Flannel Legacies. Good night. Goodbye. And if I don't, well, actually, no, I can't keep doing that bit because I'll get sued for, blatantly ripping off that Jim Carrey bit.
Eventually.
But everyone, please have a good night, good morning, good afternoon tea time, good second breakfast, supper, dinner, and whatever else fucking hobbits do. Good night.
We'll see you beautiful bastards next time.